Good morning, everyone. So today's math lesson, we are continuing dividing by decimals, but we're going to talk about what happens when you have a decimal in both the dividend and the divisor. So I'm going to teach us a little trick called dribble, dribble, shoot when we are talking about how to divide with a decimal in the dividend and the divisor. So we've already seen that you can have a whole number on the outside of your house and a decimal on the inside of your house, and you can divide just fine. We've done that a couple of lessons already this chapter. But when you have a decimal in your divisor and in your dividend, you have to do what we call dribble, dribble, shoot in order to divide. You cannot have a decimal outside of the house when you are trying to divide. Okay, so what dribble, dribble, shoot means is that we are going to dribble our decimal. We think of our decimal as a basketball. I don't know if you can tell, but I put him as arms to help us kind of think of him as a basketball. And we're going to dribble or move our decimal in our divisor because we cannot have a decimal in our divisor, right? So that's our first dribble. We want to move the decimal out of our divisor. And in order to do that, we're just going to dribble it on over and move it to the back, because once our decimal is all the way at the end, then it's out of our divisor, and this is just the number 3. Well, whatever we do to the divisor, we have to do to the dividend. That's why it's dribble, dribble. If you move it twice in the divisor, you've got to move it twice in the dividend. How many times did we move it in our divisor? Once. So we also need to dribble once in our dividend. So we have moved our decimal, we've dribbled and dribbled, right? We moved it over, and then shoot means we're going to shoot that decimal straight up from where we moved it to. So we basically have 3 divided by 36. And I'm going to rewrite that on another board so that we can solve it. Alrighty. So if you want to think of it this way, we have 3 divided by 36. That decimal's all the way at the end, so we can shoot it straight on up. We also called that raising the roof when we first learned it. And then you just divide like normal. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 1 times 3 is 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. You bring down your 6. 6 divided by 3 is 2, so your 2 goes up top. 2 times 3 is 6. You subtract and get 0. You can put that decimal there. You don't have to, because 12 is the same thing or is equal to 12 point or 12 dot, which is also equal to 12.0. If you think about it like money, remember you can add as many zeros behind the decimal as you want, and it's not going to change the value of your number. So either any of these ways, each would be correct for you to write the answer to this problem. So we are going to try one more together, and then you'll have an assignment on your own. So our problem is 0.96 or 96 hundredths divided by 0.24 or 24 hundredths. We're going to go ahead and write that set up in the house form. So step 1 is to set up that house, right? We can't divide this in our heads. We have to set up that house. Now we're going to do dribble, dribble, shoot, because we have a decimal in our divisor. If you do not have a decimal in your divisor, then you do not have to do the dribble, dribble, shoot. Okay, so how many times do we need to dribble this decimal? You always dribble the divisor decimal first. 2, right? So how many times are we going to dribble the dividends decimal? 2. So we can rewrite this as 24 divided by 96. So I've got another board for us right here with it rewritten. So we have 96 divided by 24. So we can say 9 divided by 24. If I have 9, can I make a group of 24? Nope. So I have a 0 up top because I can make 0 groups. 0 times 24 was 0. 9 minus 0 is 9. I've got to bring down that 6. Now we have to figure out how many times does 24 go into 96, or what is 96 divided by 24? Well, I know that 24 times 2 is 48, and that's not enough. So I'm going to start with 24 times 3. And 4 times 3 is 12, so I drop a 2, carry a 1. 3 times 1 is 6, plus 1 is 7, 72. I'm still not to 96, so I'm going to try one more time by going up to 4. 24 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16, so I drop a 6, carry a 1. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9. I found 96. So 24 went into 96 4 times, so my 4 goes up top, and 4 times 24 was 96, so I can subtract and get an answer of 0. So my answer is just 4. Again, the 0 in front of the 4 doesn't have to be there because I know it's just the 4. I can put the decimal at the end and put a 0 if I want, because that's going to be the same as just saying 4. If you have $4, you can write it as $4 or $4, and they're both the same. We know what you're talking about, right? So no matter how you write your answer, whether it's with no zeros behind the decimal, 1 0, 2 zeros, as many zeros as you want behind the decimal, as long as that whole number is in the ones place and your zeros are behind the decimal, it doesn't matter. Okay, I hope that makes sense. You will have a couple of questions on the assignment right below. Make sure that you try your best, and remember to dribble, shoot on your paper before you solve. Hope that you have a great day, and I can't wait to see you on tomorrow.